Hey guys, it's Liv here, and today we're going to talk about shopping. The mall is a popular spot for most people to go, especially when you're bored and just want somewhere to roam around. I wasn't always as comfortable with shopping, specifically clothing shopping. It brings up a lot of anxiety for me, especially to do with body image, and my social anxiety can get pretty intense. I find doing things spontaneously can be a lot of fun, and at the same time it can be quite stressful and a bit more high risk. So I'm gonna share with you guys some of the things that have helped me get to the point where I'm at today. Yeah, let's just get started, shall we? First thing I think about with shopping at a mall is planning ahead. So that can mean researching which mall you're going to, what stores they have, the hours that they're open, and if you have to be mindful of your movement, creating a plan of what stores to go to in what order can be really helpful rather than going from one end of the mall to the next, and back. Another thing with planning ahead is figuring out what exactly you're going shopping for. So say you have an event coming up and you're looking for a black shirt. Figuring out which stores could possibly have the black shirt that you're looking for, and shopping can be expensive. Well, you know, there is a thing called clearance. Another thing to do when planning ahead is creating a budget. Budgeting is actually very important in life. I'm learning that as I'm growing to become an adult. Also, figuring out what time of day you want to go to the mall can be really helpful. Malls can be pretty stressful areas. There's a lot of bright lights, loud music, a lot of people. I know Google usually has like a time frame of like when places are most busy and less busy. So if you can figure out with your schedule that you can go to the mall when it's least busy, then it can be a bit more of a quiet environment. So now that we've planned ahead, let's get to the mall. While shopping, I like to wear just very basic outfits, nothing too extravagant or uncomfortable, just because, yeah, I want to be comfortable while I shop. Maybe wear things that are a bit more versatile so that you can try on different things. Mindful of what you're shopping for and what you're wearing, because if you're going to try on a t-shirt and you're wearing a dress, then you're going to also have to find pants and basically find a whole outfit, which could be even more stressful. Now that we're at the mall, looking at the layout of the mall and figuring out which stores you need to go to in what order can really make the shopping experience more quick, so that you're not going back and forth across the mall from store to store, but more just like a nice circle, if it's a circle mall. You know what I mean. Yeah. I find it helpful to go shopping with somebody that I trust and that I appreciate their opinion. Also, I find it helpful to go with people that are also shopping for similar things, because then you can kind of help each other out. Clothing shopping can be really stressful, especially if you have body image concerns, and I know that can be relevant to everybody. We all have our good days and we all have our bad days. Doesn't matter if you have an eating disorder or not, because that's just life. That's how our brains are. So here are some tips that I find helpful for change rooms. Oh, change rooms. Some change rooms are great, some are a bit more difficult. It really just depends on the store itself. So some things that have helped me with change rooms are the following. I try and stay in tune with myself and how I'm feeling, and really keeping in mind what I feel is best in that moment, and making it the most comfortable and helpful environment that I can be in. Something I find really helpful with change rooms are figuring out first where the mirrors are. Some change rooms have one mirror, some change rooms are surrounded in mirrors, and so that can really affect the experience. So if you get into a change room and there's one mirror right on the wall right there, I find it helpful to turn away from the mirror while I'm changing. One place that I absolutely love is Aerie. Their change rooms are surrounded with sticky notes all over the mirrors and the walls that people can write kind things on. I love it, and it makes me smile every time I go there. So this is kind of something that I took from them, is actually bringing sticky notes to places in my purse and sticking them on the mirror while I'm in the change room. Yeah, sticky notes can be good. I like to organize my clothes in the way that I'm trying them on, just so that it can make everything flow nicely and I'm not going back and forth between tops and bottoms. So that's what I tend to do first. Once I have that figured out, creating a time limit for how long you look in the mirror at the outfit and for how long you try the outfit on. I also find it really helpful to face away from the mirror, try it on, and go with how I feel before even seeing what I look like. If I try a skirt on and it's too big or too snug, I know immediately that it's not the skirt for me. If I try something on and it feels nice, then I'll turn around, look at the mirror, and go with my initial instinct. The longer we tend to look at ourselves, the more we can nitpick, and so going with our initial thought can be really helpful. And then if you like the shirt, you buy the shirt. If you don't like it, you don't buy it, and then that's that. If I try something on and I'm just not sure if I need it, if I want it, or what my thoughts are on the item, then I tend to ask whoever I went with for their opinion. And yeah, that's why I like going with someone I trust, because I know that they have my best interest at heart. So going with your initial instinct is really helpful, because the longer we dwell on things, the more negative talk can come into play and can actually persuade us to not buy something that might actually make us feel good. Trying clothes on, facing away from mirrors, creating a time limit, and going with your initial instinct, I find are 3 very helpful skills. Cope cards are always great. You can bring them in your purse. You can bring sticky notes so that you can put them on your mirrors. Change room mirrors can be difficult just because they are so close to us, so sometimes I actually find it helpful to step outside of the change room and look in the mirror from farther away, because that would be more of a normal point of view rather than something that's like up close. Yeah. Another thing that I've done before is actually covered up the mirrors in the change rooms, and then that sometimes forces me to go out and get out of the change room and get somebody else's opinion. Sizing. Sizing is a really hard topic for really anybody, especially if you have body dysmorphia or body image concerns. I know it's really hard for a lot of people, and some things I think we need to remember with sizing is it's just a number. No matter what your mind is telling you, it doesn't matter what the number is. What matters is that your pants stay on. And with clothing sizes and tags, I find it helpful to rip them off when I get home. While shopping, I sometimes find it helpful to ask the clothing associate what their opinions are. It kind of depends on the store, but if it's a store with knowledgeable employees, then they can be really helpful with figuring out what you need. I try and focus more on how I feel rather than the tag itself and what is written on there. I wish sizes didn't have such a negative impact on our mental health, and it's quite unfortunate, especially because they're so unpredictable. One clothing store could have 2 pairs of jeans that say they're the same size and fit completely different. That's why I think it's actually very important to try clothes on, because you just never know. So actually going into the change room with an assortment of different sizes and different styles, just because you never really know what you're gonna get until you try things on. I find it helpful not to look at the tags while I'm trying the clothes on. I just take it off the hanger and put it on and go from there, rather than looking at the tag being like, I have to try this on now. Some things I've done with my friends, we're going bathing suit shopping, and we were pretty stressed out with sizing and everything like that. So she gave me the 2 bathing suits that she was deciding between. I threw one over to her. She tried it on without looking at the tag, decided if she liked how it fit or not, gave it back to me. I gave her the other one. She tried it on, decided how she felt in it, gave it back, and then she said, I like number 1 or I like number 2, and it had nothing to do with the number on the bathing suit. It had to do with how she felt in it, and I found that pretty cool, and being able to do that. So if you go with somebody that you trust, you can do that. With shopping, I find it helpful to actually try on higher sizes and go down from there, rather than trying on something that I hope will fit, and then if it doesn't fit, then I feel crappy. So I think setting goals before going shopping is really helpful, and what skills you can use. Some skills I find helpful for shopping are the stop skill. I know I explained that in the holiday video, which you can go back to, but just to recap, it's stopping, taking a step back, observing the situation, and then proceeding with whatever you need. Even just stepping out of the store for a minute and recuperating, and then deciding if I'm ready to keep going or if I can call it a day and decide to go another time. Positive self-talk is difficult to do, and at the same time it can be really helpful. When I go shopping, I like to say one thing I like about myself before I even start my journey in the mall. I also like to find things that make me smile. Figure out what your style is and what makes you feel good. I love knit sweaters. This is the second video, and again I'm wearing a knit sweater. So when I'm going shopping and I'm looking for a specific outfit, I tend to tailor my outfits to my style. Shopping for clothes, it's a good time. Both before and after shopping, I find it important to plan in self-care. Another thing that we really need to remember is when our shopping experience is done, we still need to remind ourselves that whether it went positive or negatively, we still need to continue to follow our meal plan, and sometimes it can be more difficult after shopping and seeing your body in a lit mirror. But at the end of the day, we still need to remember that we need to follow our meal plan and figure out what we need to put into place to be able to continue having a successful day. Sometimes we leave the mall empty-handed, sometimes we leave the mall with a couple bags. At the end of the day, whatever is on that tag of your clothing, it doesn't matter. It's really difficult to say, but I think we need to really work on not allowing numbers to dictate our life and how we feel, but rather what we're wearing is how we feel. Like if I'm wearing a size small or a size large, it doesn't matter. What matters is I feel comfortable in my skin, and that's what shopping can do, is help you feel more comfortable and confident. I know clothing isn't everything, and at the same time, for me at least, when I'm dressed in something that I feel confident in, it boosts my confidence. It's difficult for all of us, and so at the end of the day, I think one thing that we really need to work on is positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is very difficult for anybody, and so I think that we need to discuss more, and I will do a whole video on it if you want me to, but I think we could all incorporate positive self-talk into our everyday life, whether it's waking up and looking at yourself in the morning and saying, wow, you're awesome, or wow, I really like the outfit that I'm wearing today. Remember that you are worthy of happiness as much as anybody else, and as hard as it is to say, sizes are but a number and numbers do not define you. If you feel confident in the outfit that you're wearing, sizes are silly and you are so much more than the number on your clothing tag. I can't express that enough, and I know clothing shopping can be really difficult for any of us, so please, if you have any more questions or concerns about shopping, message me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I hope this video helped you guys a little bit. Sorry it's all over the place. Shopping can be a difficult time, and at the same time it can be a really fun experience, so remember to plan ahead and incorporate positive self-talk into your everyday life. I hope you guys liked this video and hope there were some things that you could take away from it. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on there, so I love hearing your feedback. Feel free to reach out to me whenever you need to. Always remember to be kind to yourselves and just keep swimming. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!